Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, what's up? How you guys doing? What is the scoop? How's your week going? It is a Wednesday on this Gregorian calendar. We are heading to a Shabbat, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, as we get through this week and as we get closer to a Shabbat, things get a little bit better. The week gets just a little bit lighter. Things are just a little bit down to the final grind. And when the lights go out on Friday night and the Shabbat begins, that is a peaceful time. Because you know the power of all the workload and all this stuff, of all this rat race that we live in, it disappears. It disappears for a full on day. All we are supposed to do is rest. That is what we are told. We're not supposed to have our manservant or woman servant or any kind of people that are working for us. We shouldn't be collecting money. We shouldn't be doing anything of this sort. And it is a day that is blessed like no other. You will go into a Shabbat night when the night is falling on the Saturday night, and it's not Saturday, it's seventh day night, and your body is just really, really rejuvenated. Sometimes it's hard to sleep. For us, it's like we've rested a little too much, a little points, and now it's going to take a little bit to readjust. But think of the healing properties and the healing health and the things that it does to a human body, and some of the reasons why a Shabbat was built for man and not man built for the Shabbat. It is a day of rest that all humanity should be taking. The lands should not be worked. The people should not be worked. Everybody is sitting there, and what do we do on Shabbat? Well, we are in awe of what our Creator has done. For me personally, I spend a tremendous amount of time walking around in my yard. I just kind of go around in circles as I'm praying. I'm just talking to our Creator in a nice little green grass. The jungle birds and such are all around us, and it's one of these very, very peaceful settings. I'll sit on my chairs outside. We will relax. We read scriptures as a family. We pray as a family. We are very family oriented, and so on a Shabbat, it really brings us closer as a family. Not only are we getting rest, but as a family, we are resting in unison, along with the people that are instructed that should be resting. And guys, this isn't just a human thing. We have read in the Apocrypha that all of creation keeps Shabbat. This is what the messengers, what people call angels, the various different flavors of all of them that are up there, everybody's keeping a Shabbat, right? There's a seventh day coming. Everybody be resting. Everybody but our Creator and His Son. They have to do a lot of work, because if they were not doing the work, even on a Shabbat, then things would get out of hand real fast, and we don't want that. And so the Creator knows what He's doing, and He probably rests when He can, and He rested on the seventh day. So hopefully He gets to rest on the seventh day as well. But with the humanity that's going the way it is, you never know. Guys, you're looking at the what we will call a limited edition Yah Scriptures. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. It is the greatest English translation that has ever been produced, and I stand by this. And this has not been challenged. And so this is a large book. If you guys are looking to read all of Scriptures, the 103 books, this is not just the 66, but this includes all of the other Apocrypha, all these books that have been ripped out, the Testament of the Patriarchs, Enoch, Jasher, Jubilees, the books of Adam and Kawa. There's just a tremendous amount of information that is all at your fingertips. And the amazing thing about this is it's large print. It's 14.5 font, and that is large. Even for my weak eyes that are struggling. When I have this book, it is able to be read, and I don't have to put on glasses. I don't have to use a magnifying glass. I don't have to do any of that stuff. And prior to this, before Yah Scriptures, I have not been able to read a Scriptures outside of a tablet, because I could not make it big enough. And so all these little itty bitty tiny things, even some of the bigger print of what how the scriptures called big print, is not like this. And so this book was built for marathon reading extravaganzas. When you guys fall in love with the scriptures and the word of our creator, and these large print, large words just come to life. And you can read this without your eyes weeping for tiredness, which they might at the end. But what I'm saying is this is a limited edition print. It has a restored name of our creator, a restored name of his son. And his son, guys, we're not worshiping a guy named Jesus, right? That's the invention of the Catholics, of everybody who was part of the King James Version Bible. Guys, prior to the name Jesus, they had him as Iesus, Iesus. That was prior to 1611. So at some point, the evil translators technically did horrible things and they changed it out. And so some people say Yahushua. I say Yahushua. My boys say Yahushua, like closer to Joshua with a Y. There's Yeshua, right? There's a lot of different names of this. Sometimes they're kind of like a nickname of the same name. And so this is as close to that we have to the name of our Messiah. And we know from scriptures there's only one name under heaven by which man may be saved. Now, I don't think having the wrong name is going to doom us, but once you learn the name of who we should be talking to and worshiping, we shouldn't be calling him Bob or something else, and Jesus is like Jesus is literally the son of Zeus. So there's a big joke on all the people, and Satan is definitely laughing as all of these translations of scriptures have been corrupted, and evil scribes and lying tongues over the years have just done very, very, very bad things here. And so, guys, grab your limited edition if you guys would like them. If you don't need to, though. You guys can go to yahscriptures.com. All of these things, this huge, big blue book is available digitally, absolutely free of charge. You guys can get the same version we're going to use right here. This has all 103 books. This is a beautiful, beautiful read. Very, very fun read. The copy and paste works spectacularly, and you guys can paste the name of our creator and his son all over the place when you guys are posting verses and things of that nature. So I use this every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. It is just a beautiful thing. It is the Yah Scriptures portable version, absolutely free of charge. And also we have a pre-sale going on right now for Yah Scriptures. We're hoping July or August to have the paperback book. That will be revision 2, and it will also be, it's a smaller book, small print, and we stripped out the Apocrypha. Like some of the evil scribes, I feel like an evil scribe here where I had to pull it out. But honestly, guys, there's no possible way to make a book like functionally portable when we're trying to include like books like Jasher. Jasher is just an enormous book in of itself. And so we're going to split them up. And so we're going to have one that's just Yah Scriptures without Apocrypha. Then it'll just be Yah Scriptures Apocrypha only. And so that will be coming out hopefully sooner or later, Yah willing. But this is, we don't know if we're going to make it back to the big blue book. It may just always have to be divided in the future, which is why this is probably a really, really good value for future use of all this stuff. And we also got word from a sister who does not live on grid. She lives like in a little teepee out in the middle of nowhere, no power, none of this stuff. She's been using this for over a year, heavy duty. She is a Proverbs 31 girl. She is a Berean. She is ripping through this thing, and she says it takes enormous wear and tear very, very, very well. She says the bindings hold up. Everything really, really holds up. And I know a lot of you guys will only use this very little. I would like to encourage you guys to be those Bereans that are ripping through this savage word of our Creator that He lights up into our lives, and it becomes a vessel up onto where we can ride through these wild waves that we're going through right now. So, guys, let's get into the Book of the Nazarene. Very last book in the Book of Khalidi. This is it's in Yah Scriptures. It's the very last book. It's the Book of Khalidi. It has a nickname, the Book of the Nazarene. Some people know it's the Nazarene. That's why we left it in there as well, the Book of the Nazarene. But this is our Messiah, Yahushua. Again, those who call him Jesus Christ. this is him in flesh, walking around, teaching us. We've discussed this before. I don't want to like completely like beat this to death, but our Creator and His Son were living in existence prior to us ever being popped up, right? Which is hard for us to fathom, right? We live and die these days at 120 years. If you make it past like 85, you're like, wow, you're like really doing good. People are dying off younger and younger now, and we live in really a world that has destroyed the beautiful structure of mankind, and now we are seeing the effects on it, from the stuff they drop over our heads to the stuff that is in our waters and our food and the poisons all around us that we're constantly trying to navigate through, and not to kill ourselves as we try to keep our temples as clean as possible. So guys, this is Messiah Yahushua. Let's see. I think this is it. I think it's right here. Okay, so we are at 1461. It was some days later at another place that a follower named Yosef said to Yahushua, Adonai, if a man cheat another, is he punished for the cheating or for the harm he has done to the other man? Very interesting stuff, right? It's the question of punishment. When we do something wrong, is it simply for breaking the Torah command that we're getting punished, or for what the repercussions of what we have ever done? So Messiah says, Yahushua said, speak of punishment only to the people, for this accords with their understanding. On earth, men's deeds are weighed on scales balanced between reward and punishment, but these work inaccurately. In the reign of the Ruach, the measure of assessment is a man's earthly life. You are now on the balances. Do not be found wanting. Messiah continues on and says this, and for those who've been in this series, you know that's a bit of a repeat of what we did, so I'm not going to roll into this, or maybe I should. Guys, what Messiah just said right here, for anybody new this just happened to find this channel and you're just watching this video, because there's a lot of them on these channels. Messiah is talking about the people only understand what punishment is, right? Based upon what we have as human beings. And Messiah then says that the deeds are weighed on scales balanced between reward and punishment, but these work inaccurately, right? And so we don't exactly know what he's saying, other than that what we understand of reward and punishment is they don't weigh well on correct balances. But in the reign of the Ruach, the measure of assessment is a man's earthly life. Okay, so how are we going to get into the kingdom in the reign of the Ruach? How are we going to be under the hand of our Messiah, under the hand of his dad, under the power of the Ruach HaKodesh? Well, our qualifications are 100% the measure of what we are doing in our life, which is why if we are walking the Torah life, then the Torah life makes us a different people, even if we didn't know this, because we have things such as loving our neighbor as ourselves being the greatest of the two commandments that when they were trying to trip up our Messiah, and they're like, what's the greatest commandment? He said the greatest commandments are to love our Elohim with all our heart, with all our mind, with all our soul, and our neighbor as ourselves. So there's a tremendous amount of responsibility in understanding who is our neighbor. Well, every possible person that we can fish for men is our neighbor, right? A lot of times we'll run into people and we fish. We keep tossing the bait out there and it goes unheard, it goes unanswered. Well, we've planted seeds, but the seeds have to be dealt with people through us. We are the soldiers of the kingdom. We are the people. We are heralding in the kingdom by saying, listen, guys, there's another way. There's another ruler. There's another path that's coming to these realms. And if you want to be in alignment with them, it begins in the first pages of scriptures. We become law keepers, Torah keepers, knowledge lovers, the ways of our Creator, happy in the rule set of the kingdom of Elohim. And so in this, Messiah very clearly spanks all of us, and he says, you are now on the balances. Do not be found wanting. Continuing on, it says, a man who can be trusted in small matters can also be trusted with greater things. The man whose transgressions are petty would commit much greater ones if given the opportunity, or if he had greater courage. The purpose of life is to establish a man's credentials. For if he is found unreliable in dealing with things of this world, which quickly pass on the wings of days, how can he be trusted with things of glory in the reign of the Shamayim? Huge things, guys. This is like a major fortune telling for us. This gives us something we can really, really look at. One, we have a credit system, and we've talked about this before, and our credit system has to be established in the Shamayim. That's why we are to forsake this world, forsake riches, forsake all of the pleasures of this world, and focus completely on the ways of Elohim, on his ways, and align ourselves. And so if we have a set of credentials, what makes us, what gives us credit? Well, number one, if we are lawless, living in lawlessness, happy in lawlessness, la 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 la, pork chops, la 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 la, Sunday worshiping, la la la, Easter, Christmas, all of this stuff. Well, we're going to be tossed off the cliff. We're not having any credit, because to establish credit, we have to do things that are kingdom worthy. Are we loving our neighbor as ourselves? Are we taking care of Torah? Are we driving Torah into the hearts, minds, and souls of our kids? Are we simply impressing this onto our children and teaching them the way forward? Guys, this is what Torah is all about. It is a life. It is a style. It is a way forward. It is a breath of life. When you guys get into Torah and when you have the Torah, this is why things get exciting. This is why every single time that I talk with you guys, I will get all bound up. I will get all crazy. And I will sit here and I will champion and cheer the coming rule of Elohim. And when we have our Messiah amongst our midst, amongst everybody who really wants the way of righteousness, this is going to be a really cool kids club. This is the way of happiness. This is the way of right ruling. This is the way of great words. Our law set is not going to be the millions of laws like the United States of America. The federal laws, there's like 1 million laws that every single U.S. citizen falls under every single day by simply walking out your door. There's all sorts of different things, and this isn't like this. When we study Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, we start to realize that that's really, really good advice. Should we eat the roadkill that's been alongside the road for 3 weeks and the maggots coming out and the eyeballs all gone and festering vultures have ripped things? Do we just grab a chunk of that and fry that up? Or is that bad for us? Well, according to Leviticus 11, that stuff we don't touch with a 10-foot pole. That's not right. Leave that for the Gentiles. They might like that. They'll fry that stuff up, right? We don't touch things like that, or corpses, or there's a lot of things that you learn when you read scriptures on things that will qualify us and give us that credit line for the kingdom to come. So number one is all of our lives, according to Deuteronomy 6, we need to be looking at our lives through the lens of the Torah. Deuteronomy 6, right? Yahuwah is one, and we need to write these words, the words of the Torah, upon our hearts, on our minds, on our souls, on our children. We must walk by them during the day. We must think about them at night. We must bask in them. When we wake up in the morning, when we're praying to our Elohim and thanking him for another day that we can have a breath of life, we should be thinking about these Torahs and the Torah commands. And man, these are such good things that you have Satanists and demons and people that are lying to everybody and going, oh, these are the old school ways. The laws are dead. They're on the cross. They're all liars. They're filthy liars that have never read their scriptures, and they're leading people astray and making money off of it. And that's usually what this is all about, right? It's always these lying, forked preachers that are making 10% of a church. Even back when I was in church, there was like 104 people in this little church we were into. The preacher still walked away, mad money, free house, free food, all of this stuff. It was a 10% of 100 people is good money. Guys, so we need to have the right credentials, right? And then he goes on and he says, if we're found unreliable in dealing with things of this world, how would we be found unreliable dealing with the world? Well, Are we loving our neighbor as ourselves? Are we following the Torah? Are we doing our Creator's appointed times? Are we basking in the Torah? Are we reading our scriptures? Are we worthy people, right? We have an instruction guide set before us, and it should become the most positive, loving the thing that you do every single day. Whether you are reading scriptures on the bus, whether you're reading as a family at night, or whether you read it in the morning before you ever get up, make these scriptures a part of your life. Don't just listen to guys like me. Take the writings and read them, absorb them, write them on your heart, mind, and soul. That the devil can't tempt you and get you away, right? That's why you guys need to hear the Torah and read the Torah by yourselves, and do it without the mask of Christianity. Continuing on. So the basically, if we're unreliable, then the kingdom to come, this is something big. This is something we don't hear in other scriptures. How can we be trusted with the things of glory in the reign of the Shamayim? Ooh, what are we going to do? Who's going to get the security guard? Who's going to get to do this position? Who's going to get to hang out with Messiah? Who's going to get to hang out on Moshe's detail? Who's going to be like managing the rest of the people? There's going to be all sorts of different things that we would be qualified for because we have made the grade. That's what this world is all about. It's 100% a testing ground. It's 100% of, will you serve the creator of the universe who made you in a beautiful form, or do you by default love what Satan has to offer and you want to hang out with that dude, right? It doesn't matter if you've made the choice. It doesn't matter if you're like, well, I just want to, most people don't say I want to serve Satan. But by not serving the Elohim of the one that created us and gave us these great words, then by default, that deems you as Satan's people. Hard stuff to hear. Continuing on. I want a job up in the Shamayim, right? Even if I get a janitor job, I'll do it. I'm good. Just don't put me with the rest of the demons and devils, right? I don't want to hang out with these people. I've seen them. I've seen them all. I've run my life with a lot of these people, and they're not good. 64 says this. For glory is the garment with which each one who comes to the reign of Shamayim will be clothed, and each one who comes will be given attire and station according to the credentials established on earth. Okay, we hear a lot about this, right? About the garments and about our clothing and the white and various things. There's a lot of stuff in Revelations about that. But basically, it seems like whatever we're dressed in the Shamayim is going to be how good we were. What is our credit score? If we're like walking around in a pitch black outfit or something like that, it probably means that we just barely scraped through on this entire thing. So very interesting, right? It gives us a glimpse into the kingdom to come, that there's something to do with clothes that shows people what your credentials were on earth. Important stuff, crazy. 65. These and many other things were taught to the Talmudim by Yahushua, but only one recorded them. And we heard this from the Besorah. I can't remember where it is at in the Besorah, but it talks about if there was enough. And Besorah, for those who don't know, is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's what I refer to Besorah. I guess a lot of people don't know that, but in that it talks about our Messiah. If somebody had been able to write all of the stuff that was available to write, it would have been many, many, many books. And I believe that, and I believe this book. I believe the book of Khalidi, because it really harnesses in some of these understanding points. And we don't know as people, when we have the last breath, people have portrayed heaven as like, you sit on a cloud playing a harp or something of that. But it's apparent based upon the Apocrypha. And the Apocrypha are all of these books right here. And I'm just kind of taking you through Yah Scriptures. But according to the Apocrypha, there's some action going on in the Shamayim, right? There's different levels of this. There's all sorts of different people that can get to various levels. It's a big system. We're certainly not alone. We may feel alone down here on these lands, but the things that I don't think most of us understand is if we were able to see the supernatural, the things in whatever frequency we can't see all around us, we'd probably be shocked. We have probably been saved from more demons and devils and evil things by the messengers that have been assigned to us and our families than we even know. Things that these things have always wanted to corrupt us and take us. And guys, there's just a tremendous amount of unclean spirits and demons roaming around. And the stronger these Satanists get, I think the stronger these demons get. And we need to pray that all of us stay clean, that we are able to keep these unclean spirits from us and from our families and from being a part of our lives. And one day we're going to see this. One day we're probably going to see in this frequency, hopefully, and it's going to be somewhere on the good side. It's not going to be on the bad part of Sheol. And, the kingdom people are an amazing people. All of you guys out there that keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, simply that makes you guys amazing people. And so you guys are the kind of people I want to hang out with. I don't want to hang out with the people shooting dope on the corners or these filthy politicians or just the dregs and drudges of humanity. I want people that are seeking righteousness, that are living clean, that are freaked out if they ever found out they're eating pig or just, we live in such a world that everything is an abomination and everybody's trying to get us. So guys, hang tight. Keep your chin down, right? Hands up. This is a fight to the bitter end. This is a good fight. We have the powers of the creator of the universe that side with us, that are meant to protect us. And we're not alone in this, right? Prayer is an answer to so many things, and it's a direct line. It is one of these blessings, a baraka, that our creator has established a line of communication directly to him. And he's so omnipotent with such power and prestige that he's able to dial all of us in and to be able to sort all this madhouse out and can dispatch his messengers at a whim. And so keep this line of communication open, guys. Seek our creator where he's able to be found. He's able to be found in prayer and in supplication, all of this. Much love, my friends. Have a good day.